The morning was bright across the forest, and the birds were singing their cheerful tunes when Leo stepped out of his small den, stretching and yawning eagerly, excited for a new day of fun. As for Max, he began his day, as usual, by checking on the big tree, which was the heart of the forest and the source of its delicious fruits. But as soon as he reached it, he froze in place, his joyful expression turning into utter shock. He shouted, "Oh my goodness! The tree is completely empty! No apples, no bananas, not even berries!" Luca, the calm little wolf, arrived, raising his brow in surprise, while Leo came dashing over logs toward Max, exclaiming, "What's happening? Who dared to steal our fruits?" Luca approached, then bent down, sniffing the soil carefully and inspecting the scattered leaves. Then he said in a quiet, mysterious tone, "There are footprints, small ones, but they're not of a raccoon nor even a hedgehog. Something different." Leo exclaimed with excitement, his eyes glowing as if he had found a treasure. "We must solve this mystery immediately. Let's go, heroes. Our adventure starts now. Quickly, get ready." And so their mysterious journey began in the heart of the forest, where nothing is predictable and anything is possible. The tracks led them deep into the forest, to a place they had never entered before. The trees there were taller, their leaves so thick that the sun's rays barely pierced through. The air grew colder and the silence sent shivers down their spines. Max whispered, "This area is not on my map. I've never explored it before." Suddenly, they heard a rustling sound behind them. Leith turned instinctively and roared loudly, only to discover that what he saw was just a small squirrel fleeing from the beam of the lantern. Max laughed and said, "Don't be afraid, little squirrel. We're not the ones stealing." They continued on until they came across a fast-flowing stream, and on its bank were broken branches. Luca examined the spot and said, "The tracks are still fresh. Whoever it is crossed from here." They used tree trunks to cross the stream, but Leo slipped and almost fell in. Max caught him with his trunk at the last moment, then laughed. "You're as light as a grape." They went farther until they found huge rocks forming what looked like a mysterious cave, from which a cold breeze flowed as if it were sighing. Luca said, "The footprints lead inside this cave. Let's find out who the real thief is." They entered the cave cautiously, each step echoing strangely. Suddenly, a faint sound of crying rose. They approached and found a small squirrel curled up in a corner, covering its face with its tail, its eyes brimming with tears. Leo stepped closer and gently asked, "Who are you, and why did you steal our fruits?" The squirrel replied in a trembling voice, "My name is Chippy. I'm new to this forest. I had no shelter, no food, and when I saw that tree, I couldn't help myself." Max lowered his trunk and offered him a piece of fruit, saying, "We would have shared with you if you had asked. The forest belongs to all of us." Luca smiled slightly and said, "Honesty and courage don't need strength, only a heart that knows what's right." Leo raised his head and said, "I have an idea, Chippy. How about you become one of our team? We'll plant a new fruit tree together, and it'll be yours too, instead of hiding in caves." Chippy gasped in surprise, wiped his tears with his tail, and said happily, "Really? Will you accept me?" They all answered in one voice, "Of course!" And from that day, everything changed. The heroes began with Chippy planting the new fruit tree in the middle of the forest, teaching him how to be brave, how to share, and how to turn regret into something beautiful. The old cave became a small adventure hub, where every new animal in need of help or a friend would come. As for Leo, he always said, "Not every thief is bad. Sometimes all he needs is a chance."